Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Oops. Had to turn my volume off there. Sorry about that. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Mole Trap here with Diggity as well, of course. Coming at you with Game 2 of MSL Group A of the first MSL, first full MSL of 2010. And I'm excited about this game. It's going to be interesting. It's a ZVZ, which can be a little bit repetitive, I suppose, but we've got two very interesting characters here. Hyuk is going to be the yellow Zerg in the top left-hand corner. Julyzerg is going to be the Julyzerg is going to be the red Zerg in the bottom right-hand corner. And yeah, it's kind of a couple interesting characters. Julyzerg going for his fourth OSL here. This guy has some history. One of the three players with the golden mouse. Not really known to be one of the top level players though, despite the fact that, I mean, even after he got his OSL, his last one recently, he still has not been, a real contender. Hyuk has actually been more of a contender, I would say, even though he's a little bit inconsistent as well.
Yeah, for a long time he was struggling to win games and struggling to finish games and then winning games out of nowhere. Hence the shucking yourself expression. And it's just kind of a goofy name to begin with. I think if he changed his name kind of like a la Savior, all of a sudden everybody would be like, OMG, and jump on the bandwagon. But yeah, he's been playing pretty well and pretty consistently as of late, at least. We'll see if that'll continue through the MSL. Jaedong, I almost want to say that he's not looking like he's a winner right now. He just
July?
looks like he's tired. Yeah, he just hasn't been. Who did I say? Did I say Jaedong?
Said
Out
Jadon.
of blah blah blah. Out
It's
of
alright. We're
I
both
said
sick and
Jaedong.
tired.
Jaedong looks tired too.
Yeah, that's true.
Sick and
Never
tired.
mind.
White guy. Um, anyway, what was I gonna say? I gotta say though, and that's actually a side thought with Jaedong. Yeah, he got knocked down one, but he'll still be in a pretty good position here because he's facing all Zerg and he's pretty strong Zerg versus Zerg. In the meantime, looks like we're seeing pool plus gas on one side, so probably a quick layer tech on the opposite side. We're seeing a pool without gas, so I think that was an overpool on both ends of this, and a little bit later gas to probably sneak an expansion alongside. Looks like we already see the expansion on the opposite end from Hyuk.
Yeah, this is the map Odd Eye too, by the way. Relatively new. It's new to last season, I believe, but it's not completely new. It's the one where you have those double gas expansions in the corners, top right and bottom left corners. I don't think those will come into play right now. That might be something we might see on this map, though. And someone try and go for a risky expansion in the bottom left and try and get a double gas or something like that. Um, that might be interesting. Anyway, yeah, some Zerglings coming out here very early from Julyzerg, heading across the map. Hyuk has expanded, so his expansion is going to be in a little bit of danger. His pool's probably going to, if it's not in already, it's going to be in very soon. He's going to start bringing out some Zerglings to reinforce, but right now he's forced to fight with just drones. Okay, there's his first Zerglings. Along with the drones, they're going to be a pretty good match as well, especially if you can micro those drones back. He just needs to micro to protect his hatchery there. Um, and if he can protect until that hatchery gets up, he'll be able to start putting out more lings than Julyzerg and have an advantage.
Unfortunately for him, yes, he's managed to fight this off, but in the meantime, he lost a lot of potential mining time with those 5 drones. So it really worked out pretty decently for Julyzerg. Julyzerg already has that layer. Wayne Hyuk actually not upgrading to layer, deciding to play a little bit more 2-base play. And if he sticks to this, he's just going to get rolled unless he's going with an all-in Zergling attack to follow this up.
Which wouldn't be that bad of an idea because it looks like Julyzerg, once he realized he wasn't going to win that battle, he actually snuck in a few drones, I believe, because he stopped reinforcing his Zerglings. And I didn't see anything on the minimap. So I think he snuck in a few drones there to try and get a little bit droned up. And he may have expanded as well. It's hard to tell on the minimap there. Um, but yeah, he's getting a lair now. It's going to be a little bit late. He may have to get some spores up. And oh, big Zergling battle coming on here. And it looks like, wow, looks like Hyuk is going to get a few extra Zerglings. He's got more reinforcing as well. He's very close to Julyzerg's base. Julyzerg is not going to be able to sneak in any more drones. He's going to have to pump out all links to defend this. Yes, he did stop Zergling production to try and get his expansion up, and it actually worked out pretty well for him because now he's got an expansion a little bit later. I don't know if he has the drone count to support it though, and so he may still be economically behind. Um, and yeah, I mean that's one of the reasons why it's good to send all those links in Hyuk's position. Is wow, he actually doesn't have many drones at his base, does he?
He's got them all at his natural secondary for some reason. I'm not sure why he's deciding to drag all those drones down there. Perhaps a little bit more defensive maneuver just in case he was expecting a bunch of Zerglings down there. He could pull the drones off to help the assistance. But Julyzerg, he's getting that Spire up, I think, significantly earlier. Hyuk sees it. But with the distance on the map, keep in mind this is a very, very, very large map. It's going to be a while before those Mutalisks can come across field. So right now I think Hyuk does have a slight economic advantage with the drones. I don't have a pure count on it, but I think he's up 1 or 2, which is pretty significant, Zerg versus Zerg. But July is going to be able to plant them down right now with with all those Zerglings down in position. He's going to have a slight edge, a slight lead with the Mutalisks. So really I think the key here is who's going to be able to take their second gas first.
Yeah, I try to do a rough count there. They're pretty even. Hyuk may have 1 or 2 extra drones at this point, but I just saw Julyzerg hatching another drone at his expansion as well. So they're probably about even, basically, but Julyzerg way ahead in the tech. His Spire just popping. He's going to be able to make some Mutalisks. Hyuk is still a little bit behind. If he makes Scourge first, he may be able to hold off with just Scourge, but otherwise he may have to do, this is what I was going to say, he may have to attack with his Zerglings to try and draw those Mutalisks back, keep his Mutalisks from going after his base for a little while longer until he can get some air units out. But Julyzerg, with his army a little bit split up, is now having to retreat from those Zerglings. It doesn't look like he was in too bad of a fighting position, but now he's had to come back to his base, and oh man, those Mutas come out. The Mutas are going to be a big help against those Zerglings, and Hyuk is going to get forced back. He's going to have to just kind of dance around with the Zerglings there again, just to keep Julyzerg back in his base until he gets some Scourge out or some Mutalisks. But wow, this has turned into a pretty even game, despite the fact that things were kind of back and forth there.
I don't know, I feel like Julyzerg's actually done a pretty good job of pulling ahead here because first of all he has more Mutalisks out in the field. Additionally, with those Mutalisks out, he can start picking off that big Zergling force. Keep in mind, all those Zerglings are 50 minerals and larvae that weren't drones and weren't something else. So yeah, Julyzerg had a little bit of a split up force, but he didn't lose anything in that encounter right there. So right now, Hyuk basically has a big ground army that maybe he can use for a little while, but it's kind of like bringing a knife to a gunfight. What he really needed is some Mutalisks. So Julyzerg going to have that second gas. He's going to have basically 3 more Mutalisks across the board as long as he keeps building it up. It looks like some Scourge being produced by Hyuk. He's got to go up and yeah, do some nice micro, maybe pick something off here, and it looks like I gotta assume he's intending to do so. Just move some Zerglings, it's up to him basically to go forward and do this. Have some Zerglings down underneath, have the Mutalisks come overhead, throw the Scourge in and hope to get something. So it's going to be it's going to come down to some just air micro with some ground support.
Julyzerg likes to do this a lot. He's sending in single Zerglings. I mean, he likes to sack some units to get his scout in because scouting can be so important. In ZVP, he'll send in like a whole group of Zerglings early on to try and do run mine to get a few in. But in this case, he keeps sending in 1 Zergling at a time to scout and see if he's making more Zerglings or more Mutalisks or more Scourge and try and get that those counts up. Both players sending Scourge at each other. It looks like neither player landing more than 1 or 2 Scourge. It looks like maybe 1 Scourge on each. And now Julyzerg pushing in here, picks off an Overlord that was out of position, and now he's moving in. He's going to suck up a couple Scourge because he's not microing his Mutalisks very well, but he's going to do more damage to Hyuk's Mutas. Here comes the Zerglings coming in. The Zerglings are going to start picking off drones, and neither player has many drones, so each drone is going to count huge right now. But Hyuk may have some extra Mutalisks here. It's hard to tell how big of a stack each player has. But Julyzerg is actually going to fall back and regroup his Mutas, it looks like, while those Zerglings pick off yet more drones. And wow, this is crazy. Julyzerg has just picked off so many drones. He's in a huge economic lead right now. I guess he thinks he's low on Mutas because he's falling back right now. But those Scourge are going to hold back Hyuk's Mutas while he gets a few more of his own up, and he's going to have plenty to spare with so many extra drones now.
Yeah, Julyzerg completely destroyed. Absolutely. Oh, and wow. Managing to sneak in and get another drone. And keep in mind, that was all of Hyuk's economy because he had, for whatever reason, all of his drones down at his natural expansion, which was extremely risky at that stage of play. And honestly, I feel like that was a big mistake in the match, is just bringing all your drones down there and having so much mining up front just for that exact reason. But yeah, right now he's got to go up. He's got a suicide in. You got some Scourge moving back. He does have a slight Muta advantage, but he's at a closer reinforcement point, and he has less gas over time. Julyzerg looks like he got hit by a lot of those Scourge, but I think he just has superior numbers now and able to continue to press forward into Hyuk with the Scourge chasing. Hyuk can't afford to sit and turn around, and he has zero economy. He's gonna have to GG here.
Oh man, yeah, Hyuk is definitely gonna have to GG. Oh man, he made a couple Zerglings, and those are his last Zerglings. Now he's having to mine minerals at his natural with his 4 remaining drones. He's only got 4 drones. Julyzerg has over a dozen right now, so Julyzerg can afford to miss micro against these Scourge a little bit because Julyzerg can remake his units, and Hyuk cannot. He's been forced to make almost all Scourge for a while now because he hasn't had the minerals, only a little bit of gas. And now he's making more minerals. I don't know, maybe he's going to plan on doing one last Zergling attack and try and take out Julyzerg's drones as well or something like that. Or maybe he's just going to try and distract while he makes some drones. But it's pretty much over. Julyzerg does need to start micro against these Scourge though, so he doesn't quite lose as many units. But again, he has such a strong econ right now, it's not going to matter.
Yeah, it looks like he's just able to pin these Mutalisks in. The Mutalisks are going to have... There's GG. I think Hyuk
GG.
realized it even in that Muta fight. If he retreated, he was retreating directly into Scourge. So Julyzerg's going to advance, and he looks tired to me. He's going to advance to play Baby. Should be a pretty sweet match, and we're going to have Hyuk versus Jaedong, which is, there's a lot of history to that match.
All right, see you next game. GG.